So it's February 11th, Monday, and it's about 2:05 to 2:10 p.m. The plan was to record this video with one of those things you put the phone in. My plan was to leave early, babysitter came early, leave, go to the guy that's he's usually on the road over there by Kings Highway. I live in Brooklyn, so Kings Highway near where I live, and buy one of those things. I think he's charging like $10 for it, and the plan was to go and get one so I could hold my phone, or it can hold the phone while I record, hands-free and safe. And so when you have an idea or you have something to do, just do it, right? Nike swoosh says that. That's Nike's motto, just do it. But you have to do it and be safe. And right now, if the police pull me over, they're gonna give me a ticket because I have the phone in my hand. Those are technicalities. It doesn't matter if you're using your phone or not. They're gonna give you a ticket for just having it in your hand, and then you have to, I guess, go to court and prove that you're not using it. But I think, based on this technicality, or if you want to call it a loophole in the law, if you have a handheld device in your hand, that's a ticket, regardless of what you're doing with it. I could just be holding it. But that was the goal, to make this video using this handheld device. It's something I think you could suction it to your window, your windshield, or put it in the vents, the heating vents or AC vents or air vents. But anyway, I don't have that. And screw the excuses, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make it work, because you know what I'm saying, I'm a thug, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm not a thug, man. But I look like a thug, but I'm not a thug. Anyway, the topic, well, first, before I get into what I wanted to talk about, I have a lot of things going on in my head, a lot of ideas. I probably, since I woke up till now, I probably had like about 5 things that were real good to me in my head that I wanted to talk about. And that's just me in my head. I don't know if everybody else is like that, but that's just me. Maybe everybody's like that. And what happens is I have all these things in my head, and then none of them get done. Prime example, I have some computers that I needed to fix. And I told my wife I was gonna, she is a teacher, and for her work, they give her a laptop, and they gave her an Apple laptop. And my youngest daughter, at the end of the year, she bought the laptop, right? Whatever money she had to pay, she bought the laptop. And what the fuck is the hell? Wait, I'm sorry for cursing, but there was a red light and a green light at the same time. I don't know what that was about, but everybody else ran through it, and I ran it too. So if I get a ticket, I have no proof that I ran the light. But anyway, so I told her I was gonna fix this computer like 3 or 4 months ago, and then I told people at work I need to buy these tools to fix this computer. And I think that was in October, and now it's February, and I still have not bought them. And what ended up happening to that computer was my daughter, the middle one, she's 7 years old. She had this love of slime, making slime. She would watch videos on slime making. She would ask to go to the store and buy the ingredients and make slime. And I think she left the slime near the computer, the port where you charge it. and it wasn't charging, it wasn't working. And my wife, we brought it to the Apple store, and they said the slime is all inside something. And we thought, it wasn't working. One day, my wife took the computer out of the drawer and plugged it in, and it was charging. And I guess it worked. And I told her that, hey, all right, I'm gonna fix the computer and keep it. And because it started working, I reminded her of what I said, and she's like, "Well, did you fix it?" It's like, "No, so it's not yours if you didn't fix it." So my thing is, if you say you're gonna do something, just do it. Do it now. That's my motto. Do it now, not later. Right? Do it now, not later. And I procrastinated for 3-4 months, whatever it was, and I still haven't fixed the computer. And that has been my issue. Having ideas, saying things, and not doing them. That's not good. That's not good as a man. Because women, and not even women, people hold you to your word. Your word is all you have. And if you say you're going to do something, you got to do it. And I think that's most important to women. When you tell them you're going to do something, do it. Women they look to action. You know what I mean? If you look at a lot of the guys, a lot of the men that are successful, and take for instance this guy, Brother Polite, I don't know what he's into. There's been a lot of rumors and things going around of his activities, and some people are saying that they're not on the up and up, and he's taking their money and not coming through with the return on investments that they're making. Who knows what he's doing? Who knows if it's true or false? But the point I'm trying to make is that Brother Polite has like 3 wives. And it just goes to show you that women like men of action, right? Men that they know that they can depend on to do things, whatever it is. So if you're having issues in your relationship, that might be one of the issues. You got to do what you say you're going to do. I watch a lot of videos, man. I watch different videos on different people. I believe that you can garner information from various sources, from successful people and failures. And this is funny to say, but I watch a lot of pimps. And it seems to be that the common theme with the pimps and their game is you have to be a man. And a man is someone who is of action and has something going for them and is doing something and is focused. And if you're a man of action and you're doing something for yourself and you're focused, then you will attract. A lot of times we run around chasing after women, and that's not what it should be about. From what they're saying and what I understand, they should be chasing after us. And if you're focused on what you're doing in your life and your goals, and you're of service, another guy I listened to, a reverend, would say this, be of service. If you're of service and do what you need to do, then you will attract women. But like I've said in previous videos, I digress, and that's not what I want to talk about. And this video is approaching 10 minutes. So one of my friends said the video should be no more than 10 minutes. But I don't know. I think we're having fun. I think this topic is interesting. So I could go a little bit beyond 10 minutes. If you have a 10-minute threshold, then stop and come back after the 10 minute. Take a break and watch the rest, man. Shoot. So my issue throughout my life has been to say I'm going to do this and that and not come through and not do it and find reasons not to do it. Like today, I was supposed to buy this holder for the phone. That was the plan. leave, get the holder for the phone, make this video hands-free, make it safe, because I'm trying to promote safety. But then I said, man, that's going to be something else I said to myself I'm going to do and not do it. So I said, F it, I'm going to do it. And this is where we're at. This is where we're at right now. I'm doing what I said I was going to do. And a tip that I used in the past that I have not been consistent with, and I'm hoping to be consistent with, is to set goals for yourself. Goals are so important. I mean, we see it in so many aspects of life, especially sports. I like football. If you watch basketball, hockey, soccer, Jamaicans call it football too, but soccer, they have goals, right? They have a goal. You have to kick the ball through in soccer. Basketball, you have some people call it a basketball goal. In New York, we say hoop. That's a goal. Football, you have the end zone. That's the goal. You have the field goal where you kick the ball through. You have the end zone. You start at one end, or wherever you start from, your goal is to reach that point where you can, have success, which is scoring points. So what I did one day at work, especially at work, was, and I'm at work, I basically divided the time from when I started till when I was supposed to clock out, and I wrote down what I wanted to do and how long I wanted to do it for. So, some of the things were half an hour, some of the things were for an hour or 2 hours. And I made it a point that even if I started something, let's say I wanted to read the news for an hour, right? And I'm at work, so I can't, continuously read the news, but whenever I have some downtime, I'll try to read some news. When that time came, let's say from 5 to 6, I was supposed to be reading the news. If 6 o'clock came and I was in the midst of an article, I'm done. Go to the next thing. Because if you go to the next thing, well, what I found is that I felt a sense of accomplishment because, I went to the next thing. No matter what happened, I stuck to my plan and I accomplished the goal. The goal was to read the news for an hour. And I did that for that day, and I felt so free. I felt so good. And I think the reason why is because human beings are based on habits and order, right? The way we operate is based on order. And habits are things that allow us to not think about things too much, because the brain, to me, which I think is a very simple organ, simple. The brain has so many other things to do, with maintaining homeostasis. If you, read up on, if you're studying nursing or anything, healthcare, you learn about homeostasis. Or look up the word homeostasis, to keep things in balance. And that's what the brain's job is, to keep things in balance. So we need to be on autopilot. Even the brain, the way it works, is autopilot, It gets information and it does it automatically. We don't have to think about breathing. We don't have to think about, walking sometimes. Sometimes, I drove to work right now and I couldn't even tell you what was going on the street, but I know I got here because I've done it so much that I was on autopilot. So I just wanted to say that it's very important to plan. It's very, very important to make plans and to have times and set achievements, time frames to achieve certain things. And it felt so good for that time where I was able to stick to the plan. In the past, I wasn't a person of plan, man. I wanted to be spontaneous. That was my thing. I didn't want to be held to a plan, or I got to do this in this amount of time. I I just wanted to do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it, but success doesn't happen that way. Hold on for a second. So I had to park. One of the challenges of going to work is finding parking. They started charging for parking like last year, maybe a year now. They've been charging for parking where I work, and I'm like, man, I'm not paying, man. I'm not paying $45, $50 a month to park. So I gotta find parking on the street, and it's been working out well. Damn, I forgot to close the car. I got about, let me see how much time I have left. I have about 5 minutes left to clock in. But yeah, so back to what I was talking about. Do what you're gonna say. You know, that's something I gotta work on. If you have that issue, I would say start off with just something small, like one thing per day. You know, I'm the type of person, you know, and it was funny when I thought about it, and it's so true. I don't know if it's true about y'all or anyone watching this video, but let's say I wanted to become a boxer. I used to want to become a boxer. You know, I'm like, man, I'm not trained. I didn't want to train for a year and get fit and all of that, and you know, work out. I'll train for like a week, 2 days, you know, and then like I'm like, man, I'm gonna go get my license and start boxing. I didn't want to go through the process. I didn't want to take the time to go through the process, and that's been my issue. And the reason why that is because I wanted to make this another video, but I guess we could do it in this video. Is because we tend to live in the past and not in the future. So, hey, how you doing?
All right.
All right. Yeah, so we tend to live in the past and not in the future. And what I mean is the things that we wanted to do, especially at 40, things I wanted to do when I was younger. I'm like, man, I need to do it fast. I need to do it now. And I would rush, thinking about the past. How you doing? Rather than thinking about the future. And I'll touch on that in another video. But this video right now is about just setting a goal, like one thing. I'm going to go to work now, and I'm going to write down on a piece of paper. You know, I'm going to plan out the time that I have and what I want to do and stick to that. But if you could just do one thing, say you're going to do it. You know, if you can, don't tell anybody, write it down. And the time and when you're going to do it. You know, I've had issues with making commitments, you know, even playing poker. A friend of mine has a poker game, you know, and he asked me if I wanted to play this on a Saturday, and I couldn't make that commitment. I had nothing to do. No, actually it was Friday after work. I could play, but I just didn't want to make that commitment and be held to it. And that's a problem. I'm clocking in. It's 2:28. What's going on? They finished?
No, not yet.
What? They make it smaller or bigger?
You keep going.
Huh?
You want to go in and see? It's beautiful.
Yeah?
Walk in. I did it 5 times today.
How you doing? How you doing? Oh, okay. Oh, okay, some renovations going on over here. Ladies. Hey, what's going on?
They look nice in
Yes,
there.
nice, nice. All right. Come hanging
Oh,
out.
what did she say? I said smiley.
Hey, how are you? So, in the building, I gotta sign off until another time. Peace.